Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. April the 12th, 1986 is the episode of the day. And we move through. We're getting ready for another Texas Stadium show coming up at the beginning of May. They don't really do a lot of good hype for these. You might hear them a couple weeks before, but I mean, I remember when they'd start hyping WrestleMania, 3 months before, 4 months before. They don't do that here, and I have to feel like they left money on the table. Anyway, One Man Gang and Mark Youngblood is up and gunning for the opening shot here. Gang still ferocious, but not the guy that he once was when he had various managers, Percy Pringle for a little bit, and Gary Hart, of course. It's just Skandar Akbar. Gang kind of faltering a little bit. He hit strikes early. Youngblood has been a guy who they've continued to build as a guy who's a big deal. He actually hit a flying forearm, knocking the Gang off his feet. Gang heads to the outside of the ring, which is a good place for the Gang to be. But needless to say, Gang on the outside is, in fact, a chance to regroup, comes back in, works the arm over, which I've never understood a larger guy working a body part for very long. Why not just use the power and be done with it? Anyway, so Gang is a guy who makes Youngblood carry his weight. Youngblood, he comes up, and I will say he sells very well. Native Americans seem to be a big part of wrestling across the country. At least one or two Native American stars, at least through the early 90s, in, I'd say, almost every major territory. So certainly maybe the Native American population enjoys the fighting, so to speak, and Gang gets a victory with the splash and tries to completely eliminate Youngblood. Doesn't get everything he wants with that. Actually hits kind of the backbreaker and then gets a 1, 2, and a 3. Doesn't get the splash, gets the backbreaker this time. It kind of mocks the splash a little bit. Anyway, we move on to an interview segment / a beat-up segment. It looks as though Mike Von Erich back for sharing information about his recovery. Buddy Roberts comes out, calls him a cripple several times. That would not air well today. Certainly not. Anyway, he goes after him. 16-year-old Chris Von Erich looks about 80 pounds. Comes in with a steel chair, clears house or attempts to clear house. Mike takes a few punches from Michael and Buddy Roberts. This is just awkward and a bad promotional tactic. Kevin and Kerry run in street clothes, clear the house on the Freebirds. We do find out it's going to be the Freebirds and Von Erichs for the 6-man tag team championships at the stadium show coming up in May. We find that out in another interview segment in a minute. Rick Rude and Brickhouse Brown is a match here. I guess you'd say semi-main event. And again, Brown really being pushed hard. Rude, of course, the American heavyweight champion, otherwise known as the world champion in the area. And they've done that with the WCWA. Percy Pringle still managing Rick Rude, obviously. That partnership seems to go until sometime in 87 when Rude leaves. Rude, of course, leaves for the World Wrestling Federation. Percy would do so about 3 years later, at Rude's request, oddly enough. Anyway, Brickhouse Brown has caught on so well with the audience that he gets the opportunity here. Rude with some flipper forearms, followed by a body slam. Rude likes to pose at every given opportunity and does so here. Side headlock and kind of a grind and pound attack by Rude, and kind of works the match slowly. It takes the newcomer down, throws him to the outside. Percy does not manage to use his cane at this point. Instead, a top wrist lock and other arm-related submission attempts by Brickhouse. Rude with some forearms along the way. Rude with a drop kick to the back and knocks the newcomer down. Rude is so aggressive and assertive, no wasted motion though. Beautiful talent and probably at this point the best talent they have. I can see why he would be the world's champion. And Rude gets his victory, gets the victory with the flippers, followed up, of course, by the Rude Awakening DDT. Of course, the DDT is his move here. Obviously, that changes when he gets to the World Wrestling Federation, goes for the neckbreaker, also called the Rude Awakening. But anyhow, Rude is a guy who just, is dominant all the way around, and big back body drop before Rude gets there, but Rude finally does get that victory. Then we move to a face-to-face interview, for lack of better terminology, via satellite, Fritz von Erich and Michael Hayes. Hayes basically says that he's going to end the Von Erichs, says he's going to take Mike out, and Fritz says that officially he will be for the six-man tag team championships, and this time there will be 12 guys with straps at ringside. Fritz promises to eliminate and it's going to be elimination style. Fritz promises to eliminate the other members of the Freebirds, get Michael alone, and strap him like his father should have. Then we move to our main event, the Freebirds versus Kerry Von Erich and Bruiser Brody. I still can't get over Brody as a babyface. Just awkward to me. Anyway, Brody and Michael Hayes brawling on the outside of the ring. Terry Gordy is the other Freebird of the day. Gordy and Hayes probably the most, I don't know if I would say lethal, but direct combo of the Freebirds. Obviously, the Von Erichs war continues here. Gordy and Brody have not really finished their feud. Cut off by the Freebirds for the next several minutes is Brody. Brody fights his way out of the corner, makes a tag to Kerry Von Erich. Of course, many people, if they've been following the whole series, and why haven't you been? There's over 200 episodes to check out. We've been here since 1982. If you follow that, though, a couple of years ago, Brody comes back, and he and Kerry are former tag team champions, American tag team champions, and defeating the Freebirds then. So this is a long story, long feud. Several spinning discus punches when Kerry comes in off the hot tag, and, less than hot tag, lukewarm tag. Then there's a cutoff. Michael Hayes goes to town on Kerry Von Erich, and Kerry is cut off from his partner for quite a while, fights from underneath for a good bit. Then we see a chin lock, among other things there. Brody is tagged in off the hot tag, goes to town on Gordy. Gordy and Brody just brawl in the corner. Referee kind of loses control, to be completely honest. Brody tries to run away. Michael Hayes is not happy with what's happening to his tag team partner and longtime friend. Gordy tries to choke out Brody. That doesn't go very well for him. That breaks down into all four men brawling around the ring area, and the referee calling everything off, throws the match out, and we close with the four men brawling to close the program. So we're to the midpoint of April here in World Class. We'll be back with more right after this.